A deal has been put in place for the new unified WBC and IBF welterweight champion Errol the True Spence Jr. to face former two-division world champion Danny Swift Garcia January 25th on Fox pay-per-view. Tap in.
All right, I'm ready. They love when I was down, now they see I bounce back. Now they young and they feelings. My partner told me, King, don't worry about that. Said it's time to make a killing. It's a new day, getting new money, but I don't with new. I'm just sticking to the business and the money is the mission, about to stack it to the ceiling. Now they all in their feelings. So you mad, bro? Now they all in their feelings. Tell me I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. So you mad? Now they all in their feelings. Tell me what you mad for? All in their feelings. All in their feelings. It's a new day. They all in their feelings. Money, but I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. Now they all in their feelings.
Welcome back, fight fans. King Boxing Talk. It's your boy King checking in. As you fall through, be sure to tap in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can get the notifications for all new videos we drop on the channel. If you are subscribed, I appreciate your support. It's much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed already, I invite you at this time to hit the subscribe button and ride out with us, King Boxing Talk. So, all right, as we suspected already, Errol Spence Jr. next opponent is likely going to be Danny Swift Garcia. As you see at the end of the fight with Errol Spence and Sean Porter, the in-ring interview immediately after the fight, the reporter Heidi Errol, she was in the ring interviewing Errol Spence. Danny Garcia was standing there. Heidi in the interview talking to Errol said, "I'm not here to say that this is likely your next opponent. I am here to actually announce that this will be your next opponent." And then, later in the interview, Heidi says, "We don't know the when, we don't know the where, but we definitely know the who." Well, it looks like we now have the when. Shout out to Mike Coppinger with The Athletic. He reported earlier today that there is a deal in place for Errol Spence and Danny Garcia to meet January 25th on Fox pay-per-view. Obviously, I like to tell y'all all the time, this is boxing. Nothing is official until the contracts are signed, until you see the two fighters at the press conference announcing the fight themselves. However, it looks like this is a real thing. Heidi said she was basically announcing the fight last night, that is Errol Spence's next opponent. And then again, like I said, Mike Coppinger just came out and he said that a deal is in place for this to go down January 25th, Fox pay-per-view. Now, as far as the whole Spence fighting Danny Garcia and not Terrence Crawford thing, I want to say, we won't get too much into it. I will say that there was a time they told Terrence Crawford, get a belt. Terrence Crawford got a belt. After he got a belt, they wanted to question his resume at 147 pounds. Okay, yeah, you got a belt, but what have you done at 147 pounds? You have a great resume overall from 135 to 140, but what have you done at 147 pounds? So when you look at Danny Garcia, who is apparently about to get the fight with Errol Spence, Danny Garcia doesn't have a belt right now. And like Crawford, Danny Garcia also has a great resume overall from what he did in 140 pounds. Before Terrence became undisputed at 140 pounds, Danny Garcia was the man at 140. He was the man at 140. Terrence was still fighting at 135, and Danny was the man at 140. But when you get to 147 pounds, if you're gonna ask what has Terrence Crawford did at 147, you have to ask what has Danny actually done at 147. And I'll tell you what he's done. He beat Robert Guerrero for the vacant WBC title. When Terrence moved up to 147, he beat Jeff Horn. The Jeff Horn that beat Manny Pacquiao. However you want to look at the Horn-Pacquiao fight, Jeff Horn won. Terrence Crawford beat Jeff Horn. So Danny Garcia, he beat Robert Guerrero for the vacant 147 WBC title. After that, he has wins over Samuel Vargas. He has a win over Brandon Rios. We seen what happened when Danny Garcia stepped up to the top tier competition at 147 pounds. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, he lost both of those fights. And then most recently, Danny Garcia beat Adrian Granados, which is not a top tier welterweight. So again, you can ask, what has Danny Garcia done at 147? However, even with that being said, I really put that out there just to be putting it out there. But with that being said, I'm not gonna give Spence too much. I'm not gonna be too harsh on Spence for fighting Danny Garcia next, because when Danny got in the ring last night and Heidi said she was announcing that was his next opponent, at first I was frustrated, but then today I got to thinking about the situation, and actually Spence fighting Danny Garcia next makes a whole lot of sense. It makes perfect sense, actually. I still had to put it out there that, everybody's questioning what Terrence Crawford has done at 147. Well, do the same thing with Danny Garcia, like Spence say, keep that same energy. However, Spence fighting Danny Garcia next actually makes sense to me. And the reason why I say that is because Terrence is already fighting December. He's fighting December 14th against his mandatory Egidius Kavalauskas, aka the Mean Machine. So he's fighting December 14th. Errol Spence, he wants to fight again early 2020. And now that he's not getting the Manny Pacquiao fight, if he waited for Terrence Crawford fighting in December, he's not going to be ready to fight again until, at the very earliest, March. 3 months from December is going to be March. He wouldn't be ready to fight again until March at the earliest. So if Spence waited on Bud, then that means, Spence just fought last night. It's September. September to March, that's 6 months. That means Spence would have to be inactive for half of a year. So it does actually make sense for Spence to go ahead and fight Danny Garcia in January. Now, if he said he was going to wait and fight Danny Garcia in like later February or March, then that wouldn't make sense to me. But since he's fighting him early 2020 in January, it makes sense to me, because Crawford is fighting December, and then Spence Garcia would be January. And after Spence fights Danny, assume he gets past Danny, if he's still not able to get the Manny Pacquiao fight, then there's no reason why Spence should not be fighting Terrence Crawford after that, because they would only be fighting 1 month apart. So, but I just wanted to tap in with y'all. Hopefully y'all tap in with me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to make sure you get all new notifications for all the videos. Until next time, KING. Oh, and I'll be sure to keep y'all updated on this, as far as when it becomes official. But yeah, until next time, KING, and I'm gone. So I want to say I appreciate you for checking out this video. If you like the content and you want to hear and see more content on this channel, then tap in. And when I say tap in, I mean hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so you can get all the notifications for all new videos that I drop on the channel. And the best way to really help the channel grow is hit the share button. Share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it with the people that you like to talk boxing with. We having healthy, respectable boxing conversations and debates on a daily. So just tap in, you know what I'm saying? And before I go, I want to shout out to the channels that I watch every single day. I watch a lot of channels and I listen to a lot of channels, but I want to shout out the guys that I watch and listen to every single day. So salute to them: Dante's Boxing Nation, Blue Blood Sports TV, Boxing Ego, Goodfellas Sports TV, Famous AAA. And again, tap in, KING, and I'm gone.